Hi guys, welcome to video 8. This is obviously the calculator activity, and the main thing that we're going to learn from this one today is how we get this pattern of buttons here without having to draw them individually. It's called linear pattern, as you can see there. Okay, so moving over into SolidWorks, we're going to do a rough sketch on the front plane of the outline of the calculator. It's technically it's a prism in shape. It has the same cross section all the way through from side to side, and we're going to sketch out this rough design here. So sketch a line, start in the bottom right corner of the calculator, and that has to be the origin. So I'll come across, up vertical, up at an angle, down at a slight angle, horizontally over, and finish off the design there like that. Now our dimensions are 170, 990. I'll just remember them. 170, nine thick, and 90 for the bed where the buttons are. Then we have 14, 14, 19. It's easy to remember. Actually, is it? Hold on. 14 is okay. So 14 is the horizontal distance between these 2 points. I think that's the one, is it? No, 14 was the smaller one, so this one here is 19 and the one below it is 14, so I'll make that 19. That's 14. Okay, the sketch is fully enclosed and fully defined, so I can go now and extrude boss base. Now we're bringing in a new extrude end condition. It's called mid-plane. So at the moment we can see that we can flip our normal our regular blind extrude from the plane that we just drew the sketch on, but if we go mid-plane, you can see what happens now. It actually goes out in both directions. So basically we're saying the distance is 10, it's actually, we're going 75. So what it's doing is 37.5 millimeters out one way, 37.5 out the other way. And that's the body. I'm not going to start naming parts. I want to get through this video as quick as possible. Now this one here, as you can see from this kind of sketch here, the calculator is the wrong way around compared to how it is here. Okay, so we're going to work on the screen. So remember, this is the left hand end. Okay, so we're going with a rectangle, 17, 23, 10 and 10. Okay, so I'm going to sketch on that surface. I'm going to look normal to it. Sketch a corner rectangle, and the side of the rectangle is offset 10 from the side of the calculator on both sides, and it was 23, so it's 23 to here, and that's 17, and there it is, fully defined. Now I'll extrude cut that into the calculator, a depth of 2.5 mil. Grand. Now we're going to start working on the buttons. We're just going to select the bed, we're going to look normal to it, and we're going to draw down here. So what we're going to do is 11 by 8 rectangle, 7 to the bottom, 6 to the side, so 11, 8, and then radii. I'll probably come back to that there in a second anyway. So sketch a corner rectangle. So 11, 8. I think that could be 6. I can always go back and change it. This one here is to be, we say 7. Let's see, so it's 7 to the bottom, 6 to the side. 7 to the bottom, 6 to the side, and then we put in our fillets. So that has to be a radius 4 fillet, so it's a sketch fillet. Grand. And now we'll do a radius 1.5 fillet on the end of it, and that's it, done. Now instead of having to replicate that, extrude it and replicate it a heap of times, we can use what's called a linear pattern. So it creates a pattern of features of objects in a line. So linear pattern, and to do that we need to select two kind of directions. We can use that line as a direction 1 and that line as direction 2. Now sorry, I have to extrude this to a depth of 1 millimeter first, and then a fillet of 0.15 on the top. So I should have done that first. So extrude boss base, select the sketch 1, and then I'm going to put a fillet on the top. So I'm just going to go fillet 0.15, very small fillet. Select the top surface, so I don't need to select all the lines and curves on the outside. I can just select the surface because all them curves are associated with that top surface. And now we go do our linear pattern. Select our two directions, and we'll get our data. So in this direction here we're doing 11 and 4, so 11 millimeters between each object and 4 of them in that direction, and then the other one is 13, a gap of 13 between each one, and 5 of them in that direction there. Okay, so we said it's 11 and 4, and this was 13 and 5 of them, like so. Instances to skip, I think there's one, yeah, see that there. Now I can take out these buttons here. So if you go to instances to skip, we can take out the two we don't need, because what we're going to have in there is a nice fancy equals button. Okay, now what I need to do here as well is not just get the fillet. See the way to fillet, it's so features and faces to actually pattern. The fillet was the only one selected, so I need to go in here as well and select the button. Okay, see the way the pattern is taking the button and the fillet on top of it, so we need to make sure we do that. Green tick. Now I'll do the equals button. So once again, look, normal, sketch, rectangle. It's a very small rectangle, but sure. And the size of it has to be, after skipping a step there, 24 by 8. That's 8. That's 24. Now what I want to do is I want to make this edge here have a relationship with this edge here. I want them to be in line, and the same with this edge here and this edge here. We call that a collinear relationship. Collinear means that two things are they're common, they're, you know, collinear, they're both in line. So I'll select that, hold control, and I need to zoom in here now and not get the edge of the fillet but the edge of the button, like so, and we make them collinear. And the same down here, that one there and the outermost edge there, collinear. And that's it. We just put our radius 4 and radius 1.5, so it's like the reverse of the buttons that we done, where the radius 1.5 is at this end. Delete that there, there, and there, and we want to go for 4 at this end here. Okay, so rather than setting the distance between the side of the button and the edge of the calculator and the bottom, we use the collinear relationship. Okay, so once again, features, extrude boss base, I want to go 1 millimeter, this is automatically selected, and I want to go with a fillet on top, not 0.15, it's already selected from the last time. Great. Now we're just going to do the last set of buttons here, which I skipped over. So it's going to be, now here there is a distance of 5.5 from the edge, so it's not collinear with that. Okay, so a 9 by 6 rectangle. So 9 wide, 6, and fillets, 4 1.5 fillets. So, and I need to set the distance from here to here to be 5.5, and a distance of 5 between the last button. And that's it, fully defined. Okay, same again, we're going with the linear pattern. Also, just interestingly, there's also a sketch version of a linear pattern. If you had a sketch that you wanted a linear pattern, and you could have done this that way as well. You could have done a sketch and then extrude them all. but sure, this is the way the guide is doing it. So linear pattern, so I have to extrude it first, obviously. Presume it's 1 millimeter, and 0.2 fillet this time. Fillet 1.15, linear pattern. Select our two axes. For some reason it's not letting me select that. Let me just choose this one here. Hold on a second now. Try that again. I'm going to select the two of them first. I held control there, linear pattern, so the two of them are selected. Use that one there and that one there. Now here, I hope this would happen the first time and it didn't, but it's after happening this time. So you can see, well, first of all, I'm just going to put my parameters in. So 11.5 and 3, 11 and 6. Okay, so 11.5, 3, and then 11 and 6. Okay, so you can see what's happened here. The pattern is going in the wrong direction. So what we can do is we can actually flip the direction of our linear pattern. Okay, so all I need to do is flick that one there. Okay, we're retaining all buttons, so we don't need to go to skip instances to skip. Grand. Now the good news is we're not going to do all the writing on it. That's a slow process that you can do yourself. I'm just going to add these set of fillets in now. So a 20 millimeter fillet. I'll do the easy one first. So 20 goes here and also here. And now lastly I want to do a 3 millimeter fillet all the way around the body, like so. So 3 millimeter fillet. So I'm just going to select all of that face, all of that face. It saves me selecting the lines all around it. And I think that's pretty much it. Okay, the last thing then is to do a chamfer on the screen. So it's a distance angle chamfer, as you can see there. So chamfers under fillet, we're going for distance angle. So the distance was 1.5 by 4 and 45 degrees. 1.5, and I'm going to select not that but the actual edge rather than the face, like so, and that's it there. Okay, if we wanted we could put some writing in. I'm not going to do the writing, it's a tedious process. There's no need to do it. That's what you should end up with, so you can do that yourself. We know how to do that already, so all you have to do is set up on each button a center line and then go around to each button and literally individually type in all the symbols yourselves. Okay, and then extrude cut them to 0.2 millimeters. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that there. So that's the calculator button finished.